Deneen paced the bedroom. Hours had passed. Too many. The silence from beyond the door was maddening. No updates, no information, just waiting. She hated waiting. Then, footsteps familiar, the door opened. Kai stood there. Alive, whole, blood on his shirt, not his, but alive. She ran to him. He caught her, held her tight. It's done. His voice was rough, tired. He's gone. She should have felt something. Relief, grief, something. But all she felt was exhaustion. Are you okay? I'm fine. A pause. He pulled back, looked at her, really looked at her. He said something before. He stopped. What? Are you pregnant? The question hit like a physical blow. She stepped back. What? Jose said you were pregnant, that you didn't know yet. Her mind raced. When was her last period? She'd been so caught up in everything. The chaos, the danger, the intensity of being with Kai, she hadn't noticed. I don't know. Kai's hands came to her shoulders. We need to find out. Why did he think? He had people watching you. A pause. Watching us. The violation of that settled cold in her stomach. I'll take a test. Now. Not a question, she nodded. The minutes waiting for the result felt eternal. They sat on the bathroom floor, side by side, not touching, both lost in their own thoughts. What would it mean, a baby, in this world, in this life? Deneen thought of her daughter, the one she'd lost. Could she do this again? Could she risk that kind of pain, that kind of loss? Kai thought of his own childhood, the violence, the absence of anything resembling safety. Could he be a father? Could he give a child what he'd never had? The timer went off. Neither of them moved. Then Deneen stood, walked to the counter, picked up the test. 2 lines, clear, definitive, positive. She turned to Kai. He saw the answer in her eyes before she spoke. I'm pregnant. Silence fell, heavy, charged. Then Kai stood, crossed to her. His hands came to her face. Gentle, reverent. We're having a baby. Not a question, a statement of fact, processing. Yes. Deneen's voice was small. Are you? She didn't know how to finish. Happy, scared, angry, terrified. Honest, his forehead touched hers. But we're doing this. Kai. We're doing this. Stronger now. I'm not him, I'm not Jose. A pause. I'm not leaving, I'm not running. His hands moved to her stomach. Still flat, no sign yet of the life growing inside. This child will be protected, loved, safe. A pause. I promise you. Deneen's eyes burned with tears. I'm scared. I know. I lost her. I can't, if I lost another. Her voice broke. Kai pulled her close. You won't. You can't promise that. I just did. He held her tighter. Nothing will touch this child. A pause. Or you. She believed him. Maybe that made her foolish. Maybe that made her love him. Maybe both. Okay. The word came out on a breath. Okay. The months that followed were strange. A war had ended, but another kind of battle was beginning. Pregnancy in a fortress, surrounded by armed men, protected to the point of suffocation. Kai was relentless. New security systems, new protocols. Her movements restricted, not cruelly, protectively, but still, she felt like a bird in a gilded cage. I need air. 3 months in, her body just starting to show. You have air. Kai didn't look up from his laptop. I need to leave the compound. That got his attention. No. Kai. No. He stood, crossed to her. We've discussed this. You've dictated this. A flash of anger, rare for her now. There's a difference. His expression didn't change. You're carrying our child. That makes you a target. I'm going insane. You're safe. I'm a prisoner. That word hung in the air. Kai's jaw tightened. You think I'm doing this to control you? Aren't you? I'm doing this to keep you alive. A pause, both of you. Deneen's hand went to her stomach. Automatic now. I understand that, but I can't live like this for 6 more months. What do you want? A walk, in a park, like a normal person. We're not normal people. I know that. Frustrated, but I need something, anything. Kai studied her, seeing the desperation there, the cabin fever, the slow erosion of being locked away. 1 hour. What? 1 hour. Supervised, armed detail, non-negotiable. Not ideal, but something. Okay. Relief flooded through her. Thank you. He pulled her close. If anything happens. It won't. If it does. I know. She did. The price for freedom, even an hour of it, was accepting the constant presence of danger. The park was beautiful, early morning, golden light, few people. Deneen walked slowly, savoring it, the feel of grass under her feet. The smell of flowers, the sound of birds, normal things, things she'd taken for granted. Lee walked 10 feet behind, another guard ahead, 2 more flanking, obvious, professional, but she tried to ignore them, tried to pretend this was normal. She sat on a bench, closed her eyes, felt the sun on her face, and for just a moment. She wasn't Kai Park's woman, wasn't carrying the heir to an empire, wasn't living in a fortress. She was just Deneen, pregnant, hopeful, then. A sound, wrong, her eyes opened. Lee was already moving. Ma'am, we need to go now. His voice was urgent. What? Now. He had her arm, pulling her up. The other guards had closed ranks, moving her toward the SUV. She saw them then. 3 men, watching, not approaching, just watching. Lee saw her looking. Don't. They moved fast, got her in the vehicle, doors locked, windows up, moving before she'd even registered what was happening. What was that? Reconnaissance. Lee's voice was tight. They were mapping your routine. How do you know? Because that's what I would do. The words settled cold in her stomach. Kai's going to lose his mind. Yes. Simple, true, she looked out the window, watching the park disappear. Her 1 hour of freedom ended in 10 minutes. Kai's reaction was exactly what she'd expected. Fury, cold, controlled, terrifying, no more outings. Kai. No. It was fine. Lee handled it. This time. He turned to face her. Next time you might not be so lucky. So what? I stay locked in here for 6 more months. Yes. No hesitation. That's insane. That's reality. A pause. You wanted this life, this is what it costs. The words hit like a slap. I wanted you. Her voice quieter now. The life came with you. Something in his expression shifted. I know. He crossed to her. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry that loving me means living like this. A pause, but I won't apologize for keeping you safe. Even if it drives me crazy. Even then. He pulled her close. I lost you once in my mind, when Jose attacked. A pause. I can't do that again. She felt it then, the fear beneath the control, the terror beneath the commands. He wasn't trying to cage her. He was trying not to lose her. Okay. The fight went out of her. Okay. He held her tighter. It won't be forever. I know. But 6 months felt like forever. The months crawled by. Deneen grew. The baby became real. Kicks, movement, a presence. They learned it was a girl. Kai's reaction had been complicated. Joy, terror, the weight of protecting someone so small, so vulnerable. They converted a room, soft colors, safe furniture, a nursery in a fortress. Strange, but theirs, then. 7 months in, pain, sharp, wrong. Kai. He was there instantly, seeing her doubled over. What's wrong? Something's not right. His face went pale. Lee, get the car. They moved fast. Hospital, the private one. Secure, doctors already waiting. They'd planned for this, but not this early. Preeclampsia. The doctor's voice was calm, professional. We need to deliver now. It's too early. Deneen's voice shook. She's not ready. She's in distress. So are you. The doctor looked at Kai. We need to do this now or we lose them both. Kai's hand found hers, squeezed. Do it. Surgery, bright lights, sounds, fear. Deneen had done this before, but that time. She'd woken up to silence, to loss, to emptiness, this time. She woke to crying, small, angry, alive. She's here. Kai's voice, rough with emotion. She's perfect. Deneen turned her head, saw him holding a tiny bundle, so small, too small, but breathing, moving, alive. "Can I?" "Of course." He brought her over, placed her carefully in Deneen's arms, and for the first time, she held her daughter while she was alive, felt her warmth, her realness. The tears came then, relief, joy, grief for the one she'd lost, all of it tangled together. "Hello, baby girl." Her voice broke. "I'm your mama." The baby's eyes opened, dark, unfocused, but looking, seeing. Kai's hand covered both of theirs, his family, everything that mattered. "What should we name her?" Deneen looked up at him, saw the tears in his eyes he wasn't hiding. "Grace." The name came to her, for everything we were given. Grace Park. Kai tested it, nodded, perfect. He leaned down, kissed Deneen's forehead, then Grace's. "Welcome to the world, Grace." A pause. "You're going to be so loved." A pause. "You're going to be so loved." Life with a newborn was chaos, even in a fortress. Feeding every 2 hours, diaper changes, crying, so much crying, but also tiny fingers wrapped around hers, the weight of Grace sleeping on her chest. Kai's face when he held his daughter, soft, unguarded, a side of him no one else saw. He was careful with her, almost afraid, like she might break. "She won't shatter." Deneen smiled, watching him hold Grace like she was made of glass. "She's so small." "She'll grow." "What if I do it wrong?" "Vulnerable. You won't." "How do you know?" "Because you love her." A pause. "That's enough." He looked at her. "Is it?" "It's a start." She crossed to him, looked down at their daughter, sleeping peacefully, unaware of the world she'd been born into. "We'll figure it out." Together. Not a question. Together. Months passed. Grace grew, stronger, bigger, started smiling, then laughing. The sound filled the house, changed it, made it feel less like a fortress, more like a home. Kai was different, still dangerous, still controlled, but softer around the edges. Lee noticed. "Fatherhood suits you." Kai didn't deny it. "She's everything." "Both of them are." Lee's expression was knowing. "Yes." Kai watched Deneen playing with Grace, making faces, singing, being everything he'd needed and hadn't known how to ask for. "I never thought I could have this." "What?" "This." A gesture encompassing everything. Family, peace, something worth protecting that doesn't require violence. It still requires violence. Lee's voice was pragmatic. "The world doesn't stop being dangerous because you have a child." "I know." Kai's expression hardened. "Which is why we stay vigilant." "Always." Grace was 6 months old when the threat emerged. New player, someone trying to build territory, pushing into areas that had been settled. Challenging the established order, challenging Kai. "His name is Chen." Lee pulled up files. "Chinese national, moved here 3 months ago." "What does he want?" "What they all want: power, territory, respect." Kai studied the photos. Young, hungry, dangerous. "He's been quiet." "Too quiet." Lee's expression was grave. "I think he's been planning something." "Theories." "He knows about Grace." Everything stopped. "Explain." Kai's voice went cold. "We caught someone watching the house, one of his men." A pause. "He was taking pictures." Kai's hands clenched. "Where is he?" "Dead. Couldn't get him to talk before he took a cyanide pill." "Chen knows we caught him." "Yes." "So this is a message." "I believe so." Kai stood, paced, his mind already working through scenarios. Responses, preemptive strikes. "We need to move first." "Agreed." "But not like before." Kai stopped, looked at Lee. "This can't be a war, not with Grace in the house." "Then what do you propose?" "Negotiation." Lee's eyebrows rose. "You want to talk to him?" "I want him to understand what happens if he continues this path." A pause, "And I want to know what he really wants." The meeting was set. Neutral ground, a restaurant, public, witnesses. Kai brought Lee. Chen brought 2 men. They sat across from each other, sizing each other up. Mr. Park. Chen's English was perfect, educated. Mr. Chen. Thank you for meeting with me. You were watching my home. No preamble. I was gathering information. About my daughter. Chen didn't deny it. About your vulnerabilities. Honest, why? Because I wanted to understand what mattered to you. A pause. What would make you willing to negotiate? I don't negotiate from weakness. Neither do I. Chen leaned back. But I'm a practical man, and starting a war with you would be expensive. For both of us. Exactly. A pause. So I'm proposing a partnership. Kai studied him. What kind of partnership? I have connections, resources, access to markets you've struggled to penetrate. And you want territory, not yours, but adjacent, with your blessing. Why would I give that? Because if you don't, I take it anyway. And in the process, we both lose money, lose men. A pause, lose peace. The threat was subtle, but there. You're telling me if I don't agree, you'll target my family. I'm saying that in war, there are casualties. Chen's voice was mild. I'd prefer to avoid that. As would I. Kai's response was controlled. But make no mistake, if you go near my daughter, if you even think about using her as leverage. He leaned forward. I will burn everything you've built to the ground. I will hunt down everyone you've ever cared about. And I will make sure you watch it all before you die. Silence. Chen didn't look away. Understood. A pause. So, do we have a deal? Kai considered, weighed the options, the risk of saying yes, the risk of saying no. Provisional. Meaning. You get 6 months. You stay out of my territory. You don't touch my interests. You prove you can be trusted. And then, we discuss partnership. Chen extended his hand. Agreed. Kai shook it, briefly, professionally. If you break this agreement. I won't. Chen's expression was serious. I'm many things, but I honor my word. They stood. The meeting was over. Kai watched him leave. Lee came up beside him. You trust him? No. But you're giving him a chance. I'm buying time. Kai turned to Lee. Have him watched, every move, every contact. Already done. And increase security at the house. Kai. I don't trust him, but I can't start a war, not with Grace there. A pause, so we prepare for both outcomes. Lee nodded, understanding, balance. Life found a rhythm. Chen kept his word. No incidents, no threats. The partnership remained provisional, but stable. Grace turned one, a small party, just them. Lee, a few trusted people. She took her first steps that day, wobbly, uncertain, falling more than walking, but determined, like her father. Kai filmed it, watched it replay a dozen times. She's perfect. She is. Denning leaned against him. Are you happy? The question surprised him. Yes. No hesitation. Are you? Yes. She meant it despite everything. The violence, the danger, the isolation, she was happy. I never thought I'd have this again. Have what? Family, purpose, something beyond grief. A pause. You gave me that. We gave each other that. He kissed her, soft, gentle, not possessive, just loving. Thank you. For what? For choosing me, for staying, for giving me grace. A pause. For everything. I'd do it again. She meant it, even knowing what it would cost. Especially knowing. Grace grew, 2, 3, 4, talking, running, laughing. She was fearless like Kai, but gentle like Denning, a perfect blend. The threat from Chen never materialized. His partnership became real, beneficial, profitable. But Kai never fully trusted him, never let his guard down. Other threats emerged, were handled. The life continued. But so did the family. Epilogue years later. Grace was 7, smart, curious, asking questions about everything. Daddy, why do we have so many guards? Kai looked at Denning. They'd known this conversation was coming. Because Daddy's job is important, and some people don't like that. What's your job? How to explain? I help people, But I also have to make hard decisions, and not everyone agrees with them. Are we in danger? Direct, too smart for her age. No, baby, you're safe always. Because of the guards. Because of me. A pause. I will always protect you. I know. She hugged him, simple faith, the kind only children have. I love you, Daddy. I love you too, Grace. More than anything, more than his empire, more than his own life. She ran off to play. Deneen came to stand beside him. She's growing up. Too fast. She'll have questions, real ones, soon. I know. What will you tell her? Kai was quiet for a long moment. The truth, when she's old enough. A pause. That I did terrible things, built an empire on blood and fear. And that it was all worth it, because it led me to you, to her. Deneen leaned her head on his shoulder. We've built something good here. We have. Despite everything. Because of everything. He turned to face her. I love you, Deneen Park. I love you too. The words came easy now. Natural, true. Outside, Grace's laughter rang out, pure, joyful, innocent. Everything they'd fought to protect. Everything they'd continue fighting for. The war had come. It had taken what it could. But it hadn't taken everything, because in the end, love was stronger than violence. Family was stronger than fear. And hope. Hope was the most dangerous weapon of all. The end,